because of Paul and Jeff and Chris and Sandy and what they stood for and what they stood up for during the trial. If you were there, and we couldn't have cameras in the courtroom, the judge tried, but someday that time will come. And the reason, and this case of all cases, should have had cameras in the courtroom because you needed to see and hear what was in the hearts of these people and what they represented, and to tell their stories of what marriage meant to them, what their family meant to them, what it meant to be singled out for discrimination and to be treated as other and to be treated differently. You needed to hear that. Our Americans needed to hear that, but Americans did, because so many people that did go to court told you about it and brought the message to America, and we're still bringing it to people in America. And this federal court judge, when we first brought this case, said, I want there to be a trial. I want to hear evidence from experts about marriage, political science, discrimination, the raising of children, all of the issues that people could bring up about the justification for treating people differently. I want to hear what the evidence is. And we put on the evidence. We brought experts from all over the world to testify about all of those issues, and you had to be there. But if you couldn't be there, read the transcript of that case, and you will learn, as we have learned, the wrongness of this discrimination, the damage that it has done. And what the judge did, the judge then had that trial, was a 3-week trial in January, and then he considered all of the issues. We listened to closing arguments. This was the most conscientious example of justice in America that in my 45 years of practicing law I've ever seen. This man took this case seriously. Today, that first step reached the first culmination of that first process. And he wrote, you can read his feelings and his analysis and his study and his care in every word of that 138-page opinion. Every person in America should read that opinion, and many, many people in America will read that opinion. He examined all of the arguments that the proponents of Proposition 8, our opponents, could bring to court. They kept changing their mind as to what their theory was. But what it boiled down to is none of it made any sense. Protect our children was the worst thing of all, because it said these people are bad. They don't belong in our society. They aren't equal as our citizens. And he struck that down. He systematically destroyed and dismantled the arguments, every argument that was made on the other side, and then he examined the rights of the individuals that we're representing, and many of you out there are representative of, and he determined that the justification did not exist, and the fundamental right to marry and the fundamental right to be treated equally in America was not something that could tolerate a Proposition 8 in our country, especially in California. I got carried away, so... The people of America will all come to the position that we are at today, here in this space. The people in America will do that. If they watch this trial, they will learn about this trial, they will read that opinion, they will watch this rally today, and they will look out at the loving people that are standing before me and that are represent every walk of life of every part of America and say, these are Americans, these are our citizens, these are our brothers and our sisters. We will be a better country when we are equal. And hear from David. David Boies is the finest lawyer I know in America today. And David and I and our law firms divided up responsibility and divided up the privilege of representing the plaintiffs in this case. And I did a little bit, and other people in our firm, and David's firm did some things, and then David took principal responsibility for dealing with the witnesses on the other side. Depositions, and I don't know how he did it, but he talked them into having their depositions taken with videotape cameras running. And he so unmercifully dismantled the opposing witnesses that the first day of trial, our very worthy, capable opponents decided that most of their witnesses couldn't make it to California.